morning, K1. Happy Wednesday. Let's go ahead and get started with a greeting. I'm going to send out a fist bump greeting to all of you, so go ahead and greet the rest of your family, and we'll get started with our morning meeting. Let's start with our morning message. Good morning, Kinder Crew. Today is Wednesday, March 25th, 2020. Do these words rhyme? So let's decide if these are rhyming words. Let's start with our first pair of words. We have rock, and tap. Rock and tap. Do rock and tap rhyme? Do they have the same ending sound? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Rock and tap, they do not rhyme. Let's look at our next words. We have bib and rib. Bib and rib. Do bib and rib rhyme? Yes or no? Yes, they rhyme. All right, let's look at our next set of words. We have night and right. Night and right. Do those words rhyme? Yes, they rhyme. All right, in our last set of words, we have stick and wet. Stick and wet. Do stick and wet rhyme? Nope, they don't rhyme. Great job, K1. Love Mrs. Jones and Mrs. Whalen. All right, let's do our calendar. Yesterday was the 24th day of March, which means today is the 25th. Yesterday was our 134th day of school. So today is our 135th day of school. What day of the week was it yesterday? Yesterday was Tuesday. So today is Wednesday. And tomorrow will be Thursday. Awesome job. All right. We're not going to do any writing lessons today because you guys are going to continue working on your nonfiction booklets. We'll talk tomorrow about how to make our writing easy to read. We're going to review that, but let's go ahead and look at our reading, math, and social studies lessons for today. For social studies today, we're going to be starting our unit on America. So the United States of America is the country that we live in, and we're going to be talking about some different things in our country. And today, what we're going to be talking about is the laws that we have in our country, and our lesson for today is about how laws keep people safe. So there's a worksheet that you're going to do at the end of this, and I'm going to read you this book that talks about our laws and why we have them and how they keep us safe. So this says, laws keep people safe. This is the United States of America. If you are reading this, you may live here. In America, we have laws. Laws are like rules. They are rules that everyone must follow. Police officers, lawyers, and judges help to make sure that people are following the laws. Do you know who makes laws? The men and women that work in our government. Adults pick people to work in our government to make laws. All laws start with an idea. In order for the idea to become a law, people in our government have to write the law. They have to agree that it is a good idea. The president then decides if he or she thinks it should be a law too. Once it is approved by everyone, the idea becomes a law. Laws keep the people and things in America safe. In New York State, one law says that if you are under 14 years old, you have to wear a bike helmet when riding a bike. Someone came up with that idea and then the government agreed. They made it a law. Do you think that law is a good idea? I think so. And I think all of our parents make sure that we're wearing a helmet when we're riding our bikes. Do you have an idea that should be a law? Remember, all laws start with an idea. Ideas can come from anyone, even you. And I know you guys have a lot of great ideas. So you have a social studies worksheet that is attached to the email that I sent out today. So you can go ahead and work on that to learn more about the laws in our country. Readers, for reading today, we're going to look back at the poem we read yesterday, The Swing, and talk more about how we can read our poems. So yesterday, you guys read some amazing poems. It was so much fun to watch and listen to you guys read your poems. You really performed them, and you were great at bringing rhythm and actions and different voices to your poems. But sometimes we read poems that might have sad parts or slow parts, and we're still reading them maybe kind of fast or with happy voices, or maybe we're singing one of our songs, like for example, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. That's a poem that a lot of the times parents sing to their children when they're trying to get them to fall asleep. So while it is a happy poem, we want to think again about the poem and think about the fact that if we're trying to get someone to go to sleep by singing that poem, we might not be singing it loud or really, really cheery. We might sing it in a soft, quiet voice, trying to lull a baby to sleep. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about paying attention to punctuation and the feeling of a poem to help us read our poems. So let's go ahead and look at the beginning of The Swing. And the first thing we're going to pay attention to is the punctuation we see. So periods, commas, exclamation points, question marks. So the beginning of our poem says, "How do you like to go up in a swing, up in the air so blue? Oh, I do think it the pleasantest thing ever a child can do." So I just read that straight through, not paying attention to the punctuation or the feeling of the poem. But now I want to go and look back at the different things that will help me to read the poem more accurately. So looking at the end of the first line here, we have some punctuation. Do you know what that is? That is a comma. So a comma tells me that I need to make a pause when I'm reading. Okay, so that's going to tell me that I need to make a pause. So if I read that line again, I would say, "How do you like to go up in a swing?" And then I would pause before reading the next part. So the next part of the poem says, "Up in the air so blue." And what do you notice at the end of that line? There is a question mark. So the writer is asking a question. So I want to make sure to make my voice go up so that it sounds like a question. So now I'm going to read those two lines again, paying attention to my comma and my question mark. "How do you like to go up in a swing, up in the air so blue? Oh, I do think it the pleasantest thing ever a child can do." So that was great. Those first two lines, we read those paying attention to our comma and our question mark at the end. And now looking at our last two lines in this stanza, we have a comma after O. So I want to pause after that word, O. I do think it the pleasantest thing. So I want to make sure I pause there. And then, oh, what do you see at the end of this sentence? An exclamation mark. So again, I want to make sure that I'm doing it in an excited and maybe a little bit of a louder voice to emphasize that I'm exclaiming it. So I'm going to read those two lines again. Oh, I do think it the pleasantest thing ever a child can do. All right, so I'm going to go back to the beginning and read the whole stanza again, paying attention. And a stanza in a poem is the section. So this section, before you see this space, this is the first stanza right here. "How do you like to go up in a swing, up in the air so blue? Oh, I do think it the pleasantest thing ever a child can do." So what I want you guys to do when you're reading poems is pay attention to any punctuation you see and make sure that you're reading it using that punctuation. So pausing, making your voice go up like a question, maybe being a little louder and exclaiming something. So as we continue to read poetry, we really want to pay attention to that, which is going to help us read our poems even better. For math today, we're going to be comparing 3 objects, and we're going to be comparing them by height. So we'll be working on height again today, and we're going to be deciding which object is the shortest and which object is the tallest. And on your math practice and reteach pages, you are going to be circling the tallest item and putting an X on the shortest item. But we're going to be looking at the 3 cube towers I have here, and we need to put them in order from shortest to tallest so that we can figure out which one is the shortest and which one is the tallest. So I put my ruler down here at the bottom because I need to make sure that I am lining my cube towers up evenly. So I'm going to go ahead and start lining them up in the order that I think they are in. So I'm going to start with this cube tower here, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and line that up right here. So that's going to go all the way on the left. Now I'm going to look at my next cube tower here. This is my next cube tower. I'm going to line it up right here. And my last cube tower goes right here. So you can see that I've used my ruler to make sure that I'm lining them up evenly. So now I can see which one is the shortest and which one is the tallest. So if I were going to circle and cross them out like you're doing in your work, I would go ahead and put a circle around the tallest one, which is on the right, and then I would put an X through the shortest cube train, which is over here on the left. So that's what you're going to be doing today in your math lesson. You're going to be circling the tallest item and putting an X on the shortest. For your math review page for today, so we're going to be doing the Common Core 12-6. So for number 1, you're going to be drawing lines to compare groups and write the number. So you are going to draw a line from each fork to each spoon, and then you are going to be writing how many more forks there are than spoons. And then for number 2, you're going to number the order. So you're going to write the numbers in order. So we have 8, 10, 7, and 9. So you're going to put the numbers in order, going from least to greatest. So counting up on a number line. Great job on another day of learning, K1. Before we sign off for today, I wanted to teach you our next song, and this song is called Rainbows Rock. This is a really fun song. So the only thing we can't do is each of you will be assigned a color to hold up. So when I'm going like this, I would be holding like a little streamer that's a certain color. And so when it says that color in the song, I would wave it. So for example, if my color was red, you'll hear in the song when it says red, I'm gonna wave my color. And then I'm gonna put my hands down, and then all the other people that have the different colors, they'll wave their colors when it's their turn. So to practice at home before we are back in school and we assign you a color, you can just pick your favorite color. It's the colors of the rainbow, so it's Rainbows Rock. So whenever you hear the color that you chose, your favorite color, you're gonna wave your hand like this, like you are waving a streamer. So I'm gonna choose the color red. So every time I hear red, I'm gonna go like this, and then you'll see what I do for the rest of the song, and I'll explain it as the song goes on. All right, I'm gonna play it. So in the beginning, you're just rocking out. Play the drums, play the guitar, bob your head. Okay.
Red and orange, yellow too, green and blue.
So remember, if you picked one of these colors, you're gonna wave your streamer when you hear it. Now red for me.
Red and orange, yellow too, green and blue, indigo, violet too.
Okay, ready? You're gonna jump up.
Rainbows rock
twinkle.
twinkling in your eyes.
So we're gonna rock out again.
Red and orange,
Now we're back to waving whatever color you chose.
yellow too.
Only during the time it says it.
Green and blue,
But everyone's singing.
indigo, violet too.
Then it repeats it again.
Red and orange, yellow too. Green and blue, indigo, violet too.
Okay, ready?
Rainbows rock,
Everyone.
colors in the skies. Rainbows rock, twinkling in your eyes.
Back to rocking out. All right, hold on. So, that is our next song, Rainbows Rock, and I will attach the song and the lyrics to our email for today so that you guys can practice at home. Happy singing!